You want to manifest faster? Well, this video is for you. Do something that brings you joy. That's right. Do something that brings you joy, because joy is such a powerful frequency. This, my friends, is the emotional slash energy frequency chart. And if you look up here, joy is literally the third on this frequency scale. It is one of the most powerful frequencies that you can embody. And that frequency, even if you experience it for a minute or a couple of minutes, is going to pave a path, and it's going to spiral into your day, into your life, and into everything you do. Let me give you a real life example. So this weekend, I always black out on my weekends, and this weekend I decided to read a book that wasn't any of my like personal development stuff, and I hadn't read like a normal laid back book, and I was reading it through this website. I can't even remember the title of the book, but I was reading it and I was so invested. I was so invested. See, it makes me giggle, right? Like, I hadn't been that invested in a very long time. As you can see, like, my collection of fantasy novels is pretty big, and I love reading fantasy, werewolf, action, romance, drama. I love that stuff, and I hadn't read something like that in a very long time. Mind you, it wasn't like that great of like a read. It wasn't like a clean book, but it was still a nice read. And I was like so invested, and then I got to the end of it and I realized it wasn't finished, and I got so pissed. But that joy that I felt like a kid again, because I used to read a lot of these fantasies as a child, and that put me into the frequency and state of joy. It just felt good to do something without expectations, without the worry of the outcome, without fear or anxiety. I just did it because it made me feel good. That energy paved a path for my day. It literally spiraled into how I showed up, how I spoke with my family. I was less irritable. In fact, it spiraled into how I cooked. The energy of my food. I made a banger meal yesterday. Everyone ate it. Everyone loved it. And then it continues to spiral into today, where I was able to set a goal for myself, and I was able to stick to that goal and not complain about it. I was able to see it from a solution point perspective rather than a problem perspective, right? And that is the miracle. That is the manifestation, right? So do what brings you joy. What does bring you joy? It doesn't have to be something so big like you got to travel and leave the country. It can be as simple as reading a book, going for a walk, watching a movie, going to the movies by yourself. I used to do that all the time. I loved it, although I gotta say the new movies haven't been that great. Or, going out with friends, getting lunch together, or even going out and taking yourself on a date. I don't know. Do what brings you joy, and that joy is going to spiral into your life. Comment below what brings you joy and share it with someone that needs it. We all need joy in life, and only you know what brings you joy.